everyone. This is Anna from Unlock Blockchain. Welcome to a new interview regarding the top 20 performing CEOs in the MENA region. As a reminder, the Unlock Blockchain competition celebrates the brightest minds in the MENA region's blockchain and crypto sector. Nominations are now closed, but as you know, you can head to our website and vote for your favorite nominee. After the voting is complete, the top 20 list will be announced, and all nominees' profiles will be featured in a new section on Unlock called Who is Who, which will be updated annually with new success stories, making it the go-to source for all things blockchain and crypto. So today we have a very special guest with us. I think you all know her, but just in case you don't, meet Mrs. Kokila. She is a highly experienced corporate, commercial, and technology lawyer with over 17 years of experience in the Middle East. With her strong technology background and skills, she established KARM Legal as a leading boutique legal firm in the UAE, providing legal advice on fintech, blockchain, cryptocurrency, data protection, AI, and many more. Mrs. Kokila has been nominated for various awards and named among the Asian Legal Business Super 50 Lawyers in MENA 2022. And she has also been nominated to be among the top 20 performing CEOs in the MENA region as part of the Unlock Blockchain competition. So we hope you will be among the top 20 list. And thank you again for being with us today.
It's an absolute pleasure, Anna, to be here. And thank you so much for approving my nomination. It's a great achievement, and it's quite exciting for us, for the whole, the virtual asset space, to see what you are doing as a company, and also the support that we have from you for growing this ecosystem to the level where it is now.
It's our absolute pleasure. This is what we do. So to start with, can you tell us a bit more about you, and what is it that inspired KARM to specialize specifically in fintech, blockchain, and crypto? And basically, like, how does KARM differentiate itself from other law firms that also specialize in these areas?
Absolutely. So I think, almost spent 19 years of my life here in the region. I came as a fresh law student who had just finished from law school, and my master's is in cryptography and digital signatures law. So very excited to be here in this space. So from that time, I have seen how this region, and specifically UAE, has always been in the forefront of adapting new innovations and new technology. So as seeing that part of that whole growth, and I continued here. At that time, I started with the corporate commercial law practice and continued doing that for almost 14 years out of my 19 years here. And I always worked with clients in this whole growing space. And in 2017 is when I started looking at clients who were making large investments in ICOs and buying tokens and not having complete understanding of what they were investing in. And that's the time when I said, okay, it's about time that we create a law firm that's going to work in this emerging tech space, which is going to try to create, to make that bridge between understanding complex legal issues to these new technologies that we are seeing, which are becoming part of our daily life. So with that, what I started KARM in 2018. We were fortunate to go and announce our law firm at the International Peace Conference, International Court of Justice at ICJ. I got an opportunity to present to the legal world that this is going to be a law firm working out of the Middle East, promoting and helping this industry grow even further. And what makes us different from other law firms in this space, in the region especially, is two main factors. Firstly, we're a law firm, the term that I don't like to use much, but we are a boutique law firm working only in this sector.
Yes.
So even if we do a corporate M&A transaction, or we do an investment agreement, or we do terms and conditions, everything is in the technology space. So we're very focused for growing this sector. That's one. And second, what we did is that we said we are going to give simplified legal advice to our clients. So we do understand that with a technology which is growing as rapid as what we see, a ChatGPT gets launched and becomes mega unicorn, and lots of it happened in less than few months. It doesn't happen in other sectors. So if we start giving very complex legal advice to the clients in this space, it might get a little overwhelming for them. So we are known. So most of our clients refer to us that we are their partners. And it's a term that they use loosely because they say, you not only understand our business, we try to understand the technology as much as we can do, and then make sure that we handhold them throughout. That makes us little different from the law firms who are more, what if I can use the word, rigid and not as agile as us.
No, yes, I totally agree. First of all, I think the UAE, especially Dubai, is a really, really good place to be in right now when it comes to this sector. And that's the thing about this field. You feel like it's more of like a trend and people just invest without even knowing like everything legal or like the legal baggage that comes with it. So I really think we need people like you to just, as you said, simplify these I don't know, like maybe terms, if we can say, or like this technology in
Absolutely.
general. So yes, I totally agree. And this leads me to my second question, actually. So knowing that the blockchain and the crypto space is a young industry, obviously, how does KARM approach the challenge of providing legal advice to your clients, knowing that the industry is constantly evolving and changing? It must be pretty hard. So can you just tell us a bit more about this?
You know, what we did interestingly is that before we give a formal legal opinion or tell them this is going to be the application process, we created this whole segment, which we call a concept note stage, where what we do is that all our clients who want to launch a new project or issue a new currency or want to tokenize something or want to start offering services on a DeFi platform, we not only just engage with them in understanding what the business is, we also try to educate them by creating a simple legal concept note.
Yes.
Where we try to fit in their business model either in the existing legal framework that we might have from ADGM, who's been quite active in this space, or now from VARA, or even in Bahrain, where we have an office with Central Bank of Bahrain. Try to explain it to these project owners that once you do the entire runway of this process, these are the different legal or maybe regulatory approvals that you would need. Now it's up to you. At what stage do you want to start looking at engaging with us? Some of them want us to be involved from the concept stage so that they are very clear that what are they negotiating and discussing even with their investors or with their technology partners or with the liquidity providers. So we get involved even in those negotiations. So we make it as business friendly as we can, the legal advice. So yes, legal jargons can be tough, but if you simplify it, law is coming from the society itself. So it's quite simple to explain if one wants to understand.
I totally agree. I do. So we are aware of the huge scandals that happened in 2022, and obviously the collapse of FTX was the main one. Oh my God. So this has definitely pushed the fast creation of a well-regulated space. What are your thoughts on this?
So, you know, I always, ever since the whole FTX collapse has happened, it's a failure of a regulatory system.
Yes,
It's not a failure of a certain industry.
I agree.
We've had scams like this in the traditional financial industry, I think on a weekly, monthly basis, which are there. In the virtual asset space, people are saying, oh, it's a collapse of the virtual asset industry. And I'm like, no, it's not an industry specific. A fraud, misusing the funds, not giving proper disclosures has been there in all financial sectors. So whenever I talk about it, I do not talk it that it's a problem from the virtual assets industry. It's a problem from the regulatory side on the whole overlook they did with what the fraud was. So
Yes.
I don't see it as a collapse of, I do see, yes, it's impacted. But if you deep dive and read more and more about this fraud, it was a financial fraud.
No, yes, I totally agree. And we've seen the SEC, apparently it's been receiving a lot of criticism, if we can say. So can you tell us more about this? What do you think about the SEC's role in all of this? Do you think they're doing a good job, a bad job? Because obviously there's a glitch somewhere. So what are your thoughts
I think I'm going to be a little bold and I'm going to say they're not doing any job.
Yeah.
For it to be good or bad, the whole mindset that let the industry grow, let the people get used to it, and then we come up with this, whether to tell you you're legal or not, is not a mindset that's going to work for too long.
Yes.
And this is where the Middle East, and especially UAE, has taken a very different approach, where they have seen that this is a growing industry. They need to protect the investors. They need to protect the consumers. They need to make sure that the technology is used for the right purpose. That they started looking at coming out with the laws and regulations way back in 2017. We had the ICO guidelines from ADGM. 2018, we had pretty much the first bespoke regulatory framework being issued by a financial regulator, which just says that you want to launch a new technology product which has a financial impact and could be a fintech product, then a financial regulator needs to get into this space. And now UAE, I think, is giving a bigger race to the likes of SEC or other regulators, where they've created a bespoke regulator like VARA, just looking at the virtual asset space. So I think the whole approach of SEC of letting these products, these being there in the market and not regulated, or if regulating, not having a proper overlook on it and the enforcement issues, UAE has taken a very different approach.
Yes, this was actually my question. It's more like how you see the UAE's regulatory landscape in the next coming years, and particularly in terms of balancing the roles between two existing regulators, VARA and ADGM. So yes, I really do think that the UAE is taking a leading role on this, and we're setting like the first foot for everyone in the industry. So this, I think we should all be proud of.
Absolutely.
What are your thoughts on the new free zone in Ras Al Khaimah dedicated to the digital and virtual asset firms? Are you with, against? What are your thoughts on that?
Since it's very new, but what we always feel as a law firm, that it's good that more and more free zones and licensing authorities are opening doors to such entities. By that, not only do we see a great financial benefit to the country, we also see a lot of talent pool coming to UAE. So now we don't have just the blockchain developers sitting in different CSR or in the Indian subcontinent, but we've seen a lot of talent actually sitting in UAE. So UAE has become a major attraction to not just people who want to invest in the virtual asset space, but also develop these products. So it's very interesting. And Ras Al Khaimah, for what I have read in the media, they're looking at a DAO structure. They're also looking at the non-financial segment of these virtual assets, which is quite similar to what DMCC did 3 years back. And DMCC, as we all know, has been able to attract thousands of companies in this space to come and set up their shop here. We're expecting the same that Ras Al Khaimah will be able to do.
I totally agree too.
Yeah.
I have actually a special question for you, since you're a woman, obviously. So being a woman in a male-dominated industry is tough. I can tell you this, but one cannot deny that women are really excelling in this field, and they're encouraging others to join. So what can you tell us about your experience, and what would you advise other women who are planning to join this industry?
In all honesty, I can say most of the time I don't even think about the gender when I'm working.
Oh, that's really
For
good.
us,
That's
yes.
really
So,
good.
when I started KARM, we were pointed out by one of the leading newspapers that this is a law firm that hires only women. And that's when we checked the room and it's like, oh, we're realizing it now that we're an all women's team. It somehow the gender cards never played in my head. And I'm very fortunate that I never had that even as a feedback or a hindrance till about 2 years back when something happened. And then I made a big media cry about it, where my gender was picked up as an issue for a certain expansion that we're looking at. But apart from that, I would say for all women, be it any industry, yeah, gender should not be a hindrance. It's about time we as women stop thinking about that. And if others are thinking, I say, let your work speak for you. Let your work, because when you produce, like, KARM has just come out with a report where we
Yes.
have done a comparison of 6 different countries. These all reports are intellectual and these are genderless. So we've always maintained that this is how we're going to promote, and working with, I think, with the opposite gender, I've never had an issue, and I'm
That's
thankful to all our clients, all our associates. We never had that as an issue.
That's honestly not the answer I was expecting, but I'm so happy to hear this. No, seriously, because just the fact that you don't even think about this question proves that you're actually where you should be, and you are influencing other women to enter the space. So thank you for that. And regarding the report that KARM has actually launched, can you please tell us about it? Why a comparative report? Why these countries in specific? The floor is yours.
So interestingly, this report covers USA. So we wanted to take the whole stance that, we're talking about SEC's approach, because they don't have a regulatory framework yet.
Yes.
That what's the approach to virtual assets and what they can do to improvise it. Then we looked at other regulators like Liechtenstein, like Switzerland, who are ahead of, especially most of the countries, not as much for the Middle East, but for globally, they've set the benchmarks and said this is what different structures can be put in place. So we've studied that, and we've been very fortunate to be supported by renowned lawyers from both the countries to give their insights on it. And then we wanted to showcase what Central Bank of Bahrain has come out with, the whole framework, and their the homegrown crypto exchanges that we've seen got licensed from CBB are a success story for us to go and talk about globally. Similar again for UAE. So UAE is now one of those interesting case studies where we not only have one regulation or one regulatory authority, we're currently talking about 4 different regulatory authority. So anybody in the virtual asset space now has a lot of options.
Yeah.
They can look at if they want to get licensed and be under VARA if they're operating in Dubai. They can look at for their existing client base in the IFC, what the FSA came out with. They always have the option of looking at what ADGMS does. Then ESCA announced the law just 2 weeks before the report, and we had to wait and fix that also. Was to talk about that all of them are at par with each other. But when it comes to your virtual assets being used for payments, then one needs to look at what CBUA is coming out. So it's all financial regulators looking at a very positive and a progressive outlook towards the virtual asset space, and we want to go and showcase that globally. That made us, put a small study, a report on all these 6 different countries, so we can go and talk globally about what these 6 countries are doing. So one country in specific that should come out with regulations, another country which is midway through, so FCA from UK does permit it but does not have a very concrete framework so far. So UK and US to look from what Liechtenstein, Switzerland, UAE and Bahrain has done. That's the whole mindset. And as I said, that KARM has always believed in that, let our work speak for itself, and whatever we can do to grow this ecosystem in UAE, that's our commitment, that we will continue doing it. So that this report is one of our, what we say, payback time to what UAE regulators have been doing in this space. We've kept it free of cost, as we want everybody to go read it.
Congratulations on the report. I must say that I went thoroughly through it, and it is honestly super interesting to see how all these jurisdictions and countries are acting within the space. So congratulations on that. And as you said, everyone can download the report either from your website or from ours, so KARM Legal or Unlock Blockchain. Congratulations again, and really, it's just an amazing report. Final question. Any announcements or projects in the pipeline for KARM? Anything especially you would like to let us know? The floor is yours.
Yes, absolutely. So we're now looking at expanding in the region, though we have been working in the region with different associates and partners that we have. KARM will soon be going live with their office in Bahrain. And we
Amazing.
are also looking at another GCC country. That's a space we're all very excited to see when we can officially be operating from there. And definitely once we have that initial approval, Unlock will be the first place that we will go and come and discuss it with.
Thank you so much.
But our other message to all the players in this space is that, this ecosystem is thriving. We as the forerunners in this space need to keep it clean, need to make sure that we as an industry are working for a clear goal, and that is promoting this industry, and especially the whole blockchain space, and keep the fraud element as much as we can out.
Because the space truly deserves a chance. I mean,
Absolutely.
and it's here to stay. We all know that. So
yes.
yeah, that's pretty it from my side. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Anna. It's quite exciting, and whenever I talk about the space, it's that somewhere I do get that sense that I'm very passionately involved in it. So it's more than my intellectual. It's a passion space from where we work.
It shows. It shows.
It's quite interesting.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Anna.